At times, it can be difficult when you operate a business by yourself. Entrepreneurs, have you ever had that feeling before? Like, what in the world did I get myself into?
Your excitement took off. Your ability to get that first client came without a hitch. But how do you turn that into a continual process of business? Because it isn't just about that one client.
And it's not just about gaining 2 clients. What it is about is creating a continual system. Today's message is about complementing others with your gift as a means of creating a continual system and staying in business. Hello, my name is Linnetta.
I'm Patrick.
And together we are co-founders of
Verticalconnectionsinc.
Thank you so much for joining us once again. Please be sure to subscribe if you're new to this channel. Everyone click the like button, the bell icon, and share this message.
Also, we greatly appreciate when you leave comments, and we look forward to those in the future.
Today we're talking about the original feeling of excitement that was your drive, and the fact that not maintaining a system that addresses having a continual system is sometimes overlooked. Many businesses have to go through this struggle when it comes to being obedient to systems.
So, the fundamental challenge of operating a business is the valuation of an asset. The asset is either going to be real, and if it's real, then it has that intrinsic value. When we're talking about the intrinsic value, it could be you. If you are a business coach, you're the intrinsic value. And the way that your mind comes together and puts the information out there is the intrinsic part. Sometimes when we talk about business coaches, we're talking about individuals that are actually considered translators.
They are taking complex subjects and breaking them down into pieces that you can digest, because when it comes to academia, they input words and charts that are confusing for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Still, if you have something you actually have done, if you know someone who's actually have done this type of work, and use them, right? Because they're experienced and you can learn a lot more from them. They can simplify all words and charts by showing you what application looks like.
Right. Some of us learn by seeing someone else do it first. Some of us learn by hearing, and some of us learn by doing. The cool part is that if we use all 3 of these components, then you'll have application, and with application comes completion.
So when you think about evaluating those assets, they're intrinsic, or for the financial part, we talk about the contractual side, you have intrinsic value if you are a company with a product or service.
Mm-hmm. Another thing about this is when it comes to the contractual side, it means actually being able to take an intrinsic value that's real and then incorporating the financial side, which is the contractual claim.
That is the obligation of the person you sell something to.
Mm-hmm.
Once the transaction action is complete, you then give them a receipt, right? Every time you go to the mall or to the store and purchase something, there's a claim. This receipt is a claim.
We all know that there are times when we get that item or items home and they just don't look the same as what they look like in the store, and then you kind of feel like, gosh, I want to take that back. So you have to have that receipt with you.
And at times when you do not have that receipt, you may not get a transaction that you were looking forward to. I know there's plenty of times when I'm buying anything for Patrick and I'm liking something a whole lot, so I buy that, and I'm thinking, oh, he might like this one better, so I buy that too, and there might be another. Either or, I buy that, bring it home, he tries it on, see if it fits, if you like it, if there's some things that need to be returned.
Right.
I make sure I have my receipt. I keep receipts for a period of time, and then they're able to make a transaction with me, whether returning my money back or I do a swap, depending on what the services they provide, how that works out. But I keep my receipts.
Yes, thank heavens. Next, let's talk about the difference between tangible and intangible. Intangible is going to deal with non-physical brand recognition, such as trademarks and copyrights. However, tangible, on the other hand, is that item that is something that you can touch. Generally, when you're talking about tangible things, you're talking about inventory, machinery, or maybe even land that you own. Those are going to be your tangibles.
Once we declare and define what's real and what's financial, what's tangible and intangible, we get to the next stage of the platform, and that is evaluation.
Yes. evaluation is the starting point of managing the system. This is where most of us are not trained. As we have shared with you in the past, it's not hard to start a company. What's hard is keeping it going. The reason that it's hard to keep it going is because we can't manage something that we can't measure. Just keep that in mind. And you can't manage something that's not a system.
If it's not a system, you're not going to do very well at it. This is the reason that individuals at times will struggle. It's because they're shooting from the hip.
You can get away with doing that when you first start off, but you're trying to take a consistent, scalable business model that can generate revenue with or without you interacting with it. Then it means that once you do your evaluation of that asset or those assets that are intrinsic, it's not wise to build a company centered around all of just your gifts.
Build a company that complements others' gift. Think of it this way. The way we may do something can be repeatable.
Yes.
It could be repeatable, but if we build the entire company around our identity, then we are going to argue with the people who we meet who want to help us.
They're going to bring in ideas and concepts. And because we built our business on our gifts, what we'll tend to do is shut them down or shut them out because we are actually trying to defend the gifts that we built our company with.
So for anyone who's truly having a team in any boardroom or business, they must enter the room, sit at the table with a complementary behavior. As soon as we say nobody can do it like we can, we then put our focus on doing everything we can to fulfill that. And that's the reason companies are struggling to survive.
We don't want to make sure that we take time out to prove to the people that are trying to help us that we are the only ones to do it. We need to embrace them and accept them into our boardrooms or into our meetings and make sure that we all flourish together. Once you get past that first part of evaluating the assets, whether they're real or financial, tangible or intangible, and go to evaluating the starting point of managing the system, and the system based on my gifts, we have to defend it. But if we actually do it as a compliment, we use our gifts as a compliment to others and allow them to participate. Now we have a system that we can put in place.
So are you building a company that's based on your gifts, or are you building a system from something that's already established?
Just so you know, most of us don't create things out of nothing, but instead, we're creating things from something that already exists and then improving the way that we interact with it.
Make sure you build your company on your gifts that complement whatever you're doing with others. Avoid
There you go.
Avoid going into businesses being based just on you.
Compliment others with your gift, and if you build your company that way, you will be much better off, because the most important thing to stay in business is to have a system. And if you don't have a system, your business will be more like a season than a sensation.
If you are new to this YouTube and would like to build your channel, connect with us, contact us using the information below in the description.
If you are looking to grow your brand, we want to hear from you so that way we can share our preferred partnership program with you and work together to expand your territory. We thank you so much for joining us, and until next time,
Get connected to
go vertical.